Here is the ebb and flow, almost like a tide that's out very low before 9 o'clock in the morning, but gradually the tide rolls in until we've got the full flood tide at the peak at 3:30 to 4:30 in the afternoon.
Top floor of the lounge restaurant, soft furnishing and fabric straight across. Accounts on your left, ladies hairdressing on your left. Mannequin parades in the restaurant. Household linens in the centre. The upper ground floor of the Barton Anyone ladies fashion floor. Ladies hats, coats and dresses on your right. Baby wear, children's wear on your left. Shoes straight across. Way out to the bus station on your left. A lower ground floor horse fair Broadmead. Food hall straight across on your right. Cafeteria over on your left. Supermarket on your left. Broadmead on your right.
Here is a large store where we've got over 1,000 staff and probably at any given time carrying anything up to £500,000 worth of merchandise. Now, if one can draw a comparison with days gone by, the proprietor of a similar establishment trading in the commodities that we do, smaller, he used to go around buying goods and carry gold sovereigns in his pocket and pay for it and probably keep very little records at all. Well, with 1,000 staff and all these hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of stock, we must have careful control. Otherwise, we could be in severe financial difficulties. Just even the weather and various other things come to affect business. Even the Cuban crisis and the Chinese-Indian problems can all have effect in suddenly taking away the buoyancy of trade. So we must have the statistical records that can highlight weekly, well, daily in fact, and weekly and monthly, the progress of our business. To give an example, here's our weekly taking sheet, where it comes on my desk every morning, which shows the state of trade each day for every department. So that indicates to us daily any department that may be falling adrift. And here's something else that's been put on my desk this morning, which is a particular department that is running rather heavy on its staffing costs. This shows the authorized establishment here, the actual numbers of staff month by month, its takings, and its cost of wages and the percentage cost. So we obviously watch that. In fact, to give you some idea of even a wider aspect of this financial control, let me just show you one or two things. I got them here quite handy. Here, for instance, is the profit and loss account done monthly for the whole store, which covers the sales and the wages cost and all the things from vans, publicity, lighting, heating, everything. And then down below shows the net profit position. So we know month by month. We don't have to wait to the end of the year. Equally, we take a profit and loss account for such departments as our restaurant. There's our restaurant, a profit and loss account, showing the position. There's the takings, the cost of food consumed, the wages cost, and the profit down below. We do that not only for the restaurant. There's the return for our cafeteria. There's the return for our bakery. In our bakery, we alone produce 10,000 pieces of stuff every day. Now, in addition to that, we also monthly do a position for every one of our departments. This shows just some of the monthly figures that we do for our departments. There's over 200 of them, so this is just some of the records which show their sales, their stock position, their profit position, and everything else, which is very, very comprehensive. And then in addition to that, you might say, well, we keep statistical records of every kind. We even keep a daily journal which tells us all about the weather, what the weather was like, so that if there was a sudden upsurge of trade in the footwear department, we might find it was because it was boots, because there was snow on the ground. So we record all that. And this is the form of journal we keep. There where we put the weather. As you see here, it says Monday, dull and cool. Wednesday, dull and showery. And here's Saturday, dull morning, torrential rain in the afternoon, and that's bad on a Saturday. We don't want torrential rain at a time when all the customers are coming out. And here we even put the movements of our buyers, where they are, what markets. Some of them may be abroad, some of them may be up in the north of England, in the various markets. So that again shows the extent to what we go. Well, to sum up, a department store is so comprehensive that it's almost like a world on its own. It covers so many widespread functions with food, catering, fashions, furnishings, that we can say, there it is, it's a colony all on its own, and with all its differing functions, we can still be considerably upset in our planning. And I think it was Disraeli that once said, there's three forms of lies: there's lies, damn lies, and statistics.
There is, of course, a hot air curtain, which is provided by two 25 horsepower variable speed fans passing air through hot water heat exchangers to provide this warm air curtain. Regarding the electrical installation, this in terms of LSD runs into between 11 and 1,200 pounds per month.
Now, what do you want for Christmas?
A gun.
A gun? You won't shoot anybody, will you?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we shan't have to let you have a gun. You wouldn't shoot me, would you?
Yeah.
Well, you won't have it till Christmas morning. I shan't be here then. So you can't shoot me. Hello, my little girl. Eh? What did you want for Christmas?
And a bike and a scooter.
A bike and a scooter? Well, you can't use the two at once, can you?
I don't know. Oh, yes. A box of some cowboys. That's all I want.
Oh, that's all you want? Well, you're soon satisfied.
It's just another event, really, as far as we're concerned, I think. It's another big sort of sale and sort of extra work, you know, build up. We don't sort of think of the Christmas spirit at all, hardly, at all. Even on the toy department, which I've been on, there's very little Christmas spirit as such. It's all sort of strictly trade, you know.
Even the Cuban crisis and the Chinese-Indian problems can all have effect in suddenly taking away the buoyancy of trade.
The best thing to do when a customer comes in first is to smile, wish the customer the time of day, good morning, madam, good afternoon, madam, whatever the case might be, and give her your full attention. That is one of the things I teach the staff.
And sometimes you seem to take it out on the next customer. I mean, say if you've had a bad customer, the first customer, then you might take it out on the next one.
What's that? What's that? What's that? Can I hold it?
Well, they don't know what they've come in for. They don't know what colour they've come in for. And, well, they're really in to waste your time. They'll see how far they can take you. And they'll say, no, I don't want it, and walk out.
Even though we're in the middle of the Christmas trading period, from the planning angle, as far as we're concerned, Christmas is finished. Now you're all coming towards the end of your apprenticeship, a 2-year scheme, and you've all been in several departments. The men have been in the linen department, carpets and furniture departments, and the young ladies on the fashion floor and baby linen. Now, as a departmental buyer, Mr. Davey, as you know, the January sales are coming up in 10 weeks' time. What is your first plan?
Well, the first thing is stock. To look through our present stock and mark down anything that is not selling or that is old. And then we go out onto the market and see what we can get in the way of special lines.
A very good point, because the January sale is not only an opportunity for taking an awful lot of money and passing on bargains to people, it is also an opportunity for you to finish with clean stocks on January the 31st in order that we can go into the new year with our stocks dead clean. As you know, Mr. Allard, on the first day of our January sale, we serve approximately 100,000 customers. Now, to serve this vast multitude of customers, what do we need?
Maybe extra staff, having regard for the amount of money and the amount of merchandise which has to be sold. Staff requisition should be put into the staff controller several months before the sale in order that extra staff can be hired to cope with the rush.
This again is another aspect of forward planning, because the staff office have to have time to make these necessary preparations. Mr. Davey, all the money going into the tills, what do we need to do about our tills?
Well, we should certainly need extra tills, so we should see the company secretary who will provide these if we see him in plenty of time.
He, of course, not being the expert on the merchandising side, needs us to guide him on the actual positioning of those tills, so that when the people come in, the best till is in the best spot to take the most money. Now, at the end of the January sale, you should have achieved something. You should have achieved an awful lot of turnover. You should have achieved an awful lot of customer satisfaction. And also, you should have achieved clean stocks. 31st of January is the end of our financial year. We are then poised for the spring fashion buying. Our stock should be clean. We don't want any winter stock hanging around our necks. Therefore, we should have taken all the markdowns prior to the January sales, again with that old adage that the first markdown should be the last. If something is stopped on the rails at 15 guineas for 4 months, don't try it at 14 guineas. 9 guineas is the price. Look at it, say at what price will the customer pay me for it, put a big ticket on it and get shut of it. Be critical and be honest with your stock. If you try to sell it over a 6 months period and it's been rejected, nobody wants it. So when the people come down to check your stock, you see the season's letter, P4, which indicates it's 8 months old. There's something wrong. You've had your opportunity, the January sale. Clear it out, get shut. Don't pretend it's marvellous stuff, that you've got wonderful taste and the public haven't. They've rejected it, get shut of it.
Was the mother of a little boy aged about 3. He answers to the name of John and is wearing a blue coat with hood. Would the mother please go to the enquiry desk on the lower ground floor where John is waiting?
When you get groups of women in, sort of family, mother and a couple of daughters or sister-in-laws or something, and they grab a whole handful of hats and pull them on, take them off and pull them on and throw them down, and they don't care tuppence about the hats, so we have to run after them and clean up all the mess. And schoolgirls, they're not schoolgirls, sort of youngsters, teenagers, you know, sort of scruffy type of teenagers, are the worst because they sort of pick up 19.5 guinea hats and plonk them on and thump them down. They don't even look at how much they are.
Now, this is the last fashion conference we shall hold between now and Christmas. With the Christmas trade really getting into its stride, I think we all want to be coping with the Christmas trade. But this particular meeting, we want to deal with some of the problems that we've got with the fashion trade at the moment, but primarily to get and deal with the spring and summer trade. Now, first of all, with the earlier Easter, Mr. Parker, what's the best date now to fix the fashion parades?
Well, I think we must be quite early this year, sir. I would suggest, should we say the 1st, 2nd, 4th and 5th? The first week in April, I would suggest.
Well, you were the 9th, 10th, 12th and 13th of April last year.
Yes, well, that would be too late this year, of course.
Yes.
Because after all, that would be the week before Easter.
Well, shall we say the 1st, 2nd, 4th and 5th
I think
of
the times
April?
would be quite suitable.
Now, Mr. Peace, could you fix that for advertising?
That fixes in quite well, sir, yes.
Now, can we ask you, Miss Kelly, now what's the highlight for millinery? Colours are what you will, so we can prime Mr.
Yes,
Peacecook
well,
for advertising.
As far as the colours are concerned, I think that Scampi is going to be a very good colour.
Scampi?
This season. Yes, following over the amber colours and the
Yes.
autumn and so forth.
Now, turning to you, Mrs. Humphreys, inexpensive dresses. Now, does the same apply with materials and trends of styling and colours and so on?
Well, it is exactly the same. The stripes are going to be very popular again this season.
Yes.
And the big spots.
Yes.
Also in different muted colors, prints, in bright shades. And the styling is slightly flare.
Now, what about the shift dress? This
Now,
thing
the
that
shift-
that's going to be really
Yes,
tops, isn't it?
It's going to be a very popular gimmick,
Yeah.
really.
Now, we obviously won't have the same problems with the Hong Kong dresses we had last year, where the styling and the fit was made more appropriate to the Chinese figure than the British figure.
No, I'm afraid we didn't really have the success in the
Too tight?
sizing. Exactly.
Too tight. Now, turning from you, Mrs. Humphreys, to you, Mrs. Coulomb, what about the children's wear? What have you got to say about children's?
I feel that the children are getting even more fussy and more sophisticated. They definitely want to be like mother, and they're getting very, very fashion conscious at the age of 8, even at the age of 8.
They won't always buy what mother
Oh,
wants them to.
certainly not. In fact, many cases, I've had them in my department, and mother likes a certain garment, but the daughter doesn't, and she just will not wear it.
Now, Mr. Mullins, what are we going to do about this fashion bombshell? As you know, it's going like mad downstairs on the fashion floor.
Well, it has been the rage of America for the past 6 months.
And
And
London
London's
yesterday was
taken
showing it.
over.
All the London stores had it yesterday. They were selling them.
Oh, yes.
Like
you
mad.
see, you can comb it, Mr. Mullins, into various styles, but you use lacquer.
I see
There's a brush given
you've
away with it,
actually
too.
brought this up for me.
Exactly, to show
See,
you.
which
Yes.
indicates what can be done with it.
That's right.
Well, you want extra buying power
Oh, yes, we definitely
to
do.
really promote
yes.
this.
Promote it in a big way on the department publicity and windows. I'd like to do it.
Yes.
In,
Well,
not
it's
with millinery.
It's no
not
use
as a
publicising
hat.
it till you've got adequate supplies.
Oh, no.
Wouldn't it be safe to say
No, well,
supplies are
I
short
should
at the
say
moment?
they are short. We can't meet the demands at the moment. We've tried to contact them.
Well,
they
will you
say
make a
6
note,
dozen
drawing
a
up
day.
your advertising, but don't put it in until we got adequate supplies.
Yes, I think we do it on a before and after.
Yeah.
The main danger, of course, is that this craze circuit stop overnight, as in other fashion gimmicks. And then, of course, as we well know here, we shan't be able to give them away.
Well, isn't it the biggest thing that's hit the fashion trade for some time?
Well, as far as I know, it's the biggest thing that's hit the
No
millinery
doubt
trade
about it.
at all.
No doubt about it.
All
at all.
colours too?
Yes.
Yeah, all colours.
Well, natural colours, black, silver, platinum. So this steel grey colour, which you're wearing now. Now, they're made of nylon, and they'll comb into various styles. You can use the lacquer into combing it into styles. The brush, I should say, used preferably to the comb. And, of course, it's a great gimmick with everyone. I mean, the children are going in for it, the men are going in for it, the ladies are going in for it, everybody. It really is so. No. You can brush and brush and brush as much as you like. Use a lot of lacquer.
The more lacquer, the better
Yes,
it stays in
yes.
position, you see.
Oh, I see. It's the lacquer that really
Yeah,
makes
so you can brush it out and then re-lacquer, get another style and re-lacquer it beautifully.
Have you got any spare lacquer? We'll be using it for this.
I haven't any here.
Some over there. Now, Wendy, are you? That's quite nice.
Yes, the grey one is
Very nice.
You want
colour.
to play around
Just
They all seem a bit big on me, but like my imagination. Oh, well, of course, you I see, when you've suppose got your own because- hair under Yes, your eyes, you know. Yes, you'll find it a bit better.
I've got to keep in the centre here. So would you mind moving over to that spot there, please? Do you want to borrow a brush? Do you want a brush to comb it with? You might as well play around. That's what it's for. Get plenty of practice in. Well, I find I can myself get it on someone else or use a model. But And of course you use lacquer on these, they lacquer very well. As far as washing is concerned, I don't think going into the tub or anything stupid like that, but I think a dry shampoo would be a very good
Twist it round, give a sharp tug, and there is your top spinning away. Wherever you put the top will spin. You will never get a space station out. Would you like to hold that, madam?
Well, the main thing is you've got to like meeting people.
They're not individuals somehow when you get a whole lot like that. They're more sort of people as a whole, like a bit blunt. But if you sort of, one person comes up to you, then you can forget the rest and deal with them. It's terribly tiring. It's not that yourself that's on the go so much, it's just the atmosphere is never relaxed. It's always a bustle and bustle and bustle, and you sort of, when you get outside and everything's quiet, it's so peaceful. It's a nice change.
Paperwork signature on your left. Shield straight across. Way up to the first station on your left. First floor, house of hard on your right. China glass on your right. All electric on your left. Second floor, line of carpet drugs furniture. Pictures on your left. Mirrors on your right. Travel goods in the centre. Top floor, the lounge restaurant. Toys in the centre. Father Christmas on your left.